lot of peoples.
That's a lot of double letters, isn't it? Anyway, hello. Sorry, we were just having a random conversation about pets. And then we thought, oh, maybe we should start it. Hello.
You make it sound cute by saying pets, but it really wasn't very cute at all. Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it wasn't cute at all. So we definitely know that people can hear because we've got a lovely hello from Ferdinand. But yeah, we always like to know where people are. So if you just want to say hello and where you are dialing in from, that's always nice. Also, the November release is quite short, isn't it? It's quite compact.
Petite.
Quite cute, petite. So if you have questions, and feel free to start putting them in as you think. Oh, Loughborough, hello, my mother lives in Loughborough. Sorry, Leonie.
Loughborough.
So, Loughborough. Or Lugabaroga, when my American husband has moved here and was like, how do I say this? Loughborough. Anyway, back on track, sorry. Put in your questions in the chat and we should have time. So it gives you time to sort of think about stuff rather than everything right at the end. Ready to go?
Sounds good, my friend. Let's do this.
November.
Show me those little release notes.
They are quite little, aren't they? Right, so let's have a look and see what we've got for November. You want to go with the first one?
Of course. So the fancy title first. We're going to host large-scale online events with Teams Town Hall. So this is exciting. It's been a long time coming. So it's one of those. So Teams Town Hall is like Teams webinars on crack because you can have 10,000 attendees, but then I think if you're premium, you get 100,000 attendees. So we can now host these through Dynamics Customer Insights Journeys events when you do your little host in Teams, stream in Teams feature. This is good because I have genuinely known customers make decisions that they can't use Teams because of the capacity of the event. So it's good that we can now use some native Microsoft stuff to do my native Microsoft things.
Yep.
But there is some details to this which you delved into. So tell me a bit about that.
What did it used to be called? Town Hall? It's escaping me because it was something else, wasn't it?
Ooh, was it live? No, that's different.
I can't remember. I thought it used to be called something else and then they were renaming it. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Live events, is that what it was?
Yeah, but then it's like Teams Town Hall is like webinars and live events had a baby. Because live events were like, I'm talking at you and you can't talk to me. Whereas webinars allow interaction. Town Hall has both.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe it was the live. All right. So a couple of things. So yesterday, day before, sometime. It just says interpreter is available. Hopefully it doesn't need to interpret.
It's not me. I'll tell you that it's not me.
So if I go into the events, I do like live events rather than live events.
I'm just thinking of that as like when you talk about like your pension planning and stuff like that. That's when you talk about life events.
Life events, having a baby, getting married,
yeah,
getting divorced, life events. All right. So if you are keen to go ahead and start using this, then just something to know. So if you
then you can't.
If you're on a new event where it says, do you want to stream this event? And we'll just wait for a second so that it thinks, then we basically can see in the drop down. So it still has live events, which is why I'm thinking it was something else. But anyway, so Teams meeting V2 is what I think it is going to be, and it should be Town Hall. And then you should be able to do the open settings. Now it should say Town Hall. So I've messaged somebody at Microsoft and there is a feature switch that is on the way that hopefully that should then all sort it out and we should be able to press this meeting options, this option settings. That hopefully will be rolled out within the next couple of weeks. So you should sort of start to see it hopefully show up soon. Limitations for joining webinar breakout rooms. I don't know, but then I would imagine that's probably in all of the documentation.
I don't think Town
Ba-ba-ba.
Hall has breakout
Does that now?
rooms.
No, does it? Or maybe it
It's
does.
only for webinars, I think. Because the idea of a
Uh,
town hall is that it's lots of people that come and hear you talk.
mm. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but if you've used Town Hall and you have seen them, we may be wrong, but yeah, I think Amy's accurate that it is designed to be like a massive sort of audience, like a organization the size of Microsoft is probably doing town halls with their employees, that kind of thing. So now a couple
They're
of
using
things.
a different. They're using GoToWebinar, aren't they?
The irony. Zoom, they're using Zoom for this. All right,
Mm.
so there's a couple of things to note on this that as I was looking through it, because I was like, oh, how does this actually work? Because I couldn't see it in the environment, so I was digging into it a bit more. So definitely pay attention to where it's got the town hall roles, because then it will show like what the function is and who will own what, that sort of thing. Not ignoring you, Rebecca, we'll come back to that in just a second. The thing
Okay, I
that
pinned it.
I saw that, very handy.
Cute.
The thing that I think is interesting and will be curious to see what happens is this part right at the bottom, which I'm glad I scrolled. Usually I don't scroll to the bottom of the documentation page, but this one is, so users don't need to register, so registrations don't include check-ins. But there will be a unique attendee URL for each attendee that says up here, right? But then it says Teams Town Hall events track attendance by email. So the check-in table shows attendance data connected to email address and not event registrations. That's the part that is like, what?
I don't get
What
it.
does that even mean? Amy?
I
Over
still
to
don't
you.
get it. I've read it like a few times and I've had 5 different theories and I need to just roll up my sleeves. That's the best summary I've ever seen. Unique links with no registrations. My thoughts exactly. I don't know. It's like they built half of it, then they got bored, ran out of time, or it was just too hard. But
I'm
this
okay
is what
with that. No, I'm okay with that. Unique links with no registrations. I'm like, okay. What I can't swallow is the check-ins without linking to
check-ins without
a
registrations.
registration or linking to a contact, because it says they're connected to email addresses. It doesn't
Not
say they're connected to contacts. It doesn't say they're even connected to leads. That's the part that is
Yeah. So
causing
by the
me.
time we send them a link with a unique link, they have to be registered, which therefore means they have to be a contact. So I don't know what they're going to do here. I got a bit excited at one point and thought maybe this is the first step towards inviting leads to events, but I don't think it is. I think I'm getting too excited because registrations are dependent on contacts. But you might be able to somehow say that leads attended an event without having them as a contact who registered.
But wouldn't you expect then that, so let me just save some crap in here. Wouldn't you then expect then that if I have that type of event, something should have changed on, okay, unsupported streaming provider.
Oh, you can't choose it yet.
I can't do it. But I was thinking something must have changed on the event registration record and the check-in record table.
Yes.
Because how else are you
going
going
to
to
be
be linking?
significant.
Yes. Bizarre,
Yes.
isn't it? I love that we're all like guessing and
I know, yeah.
could be this.
I'd be
Clicks
excited
on
for lead
link in the
retro.
email. Don't know, Mark, but yeah, who knows? Who knows?
No one does, but it'll be fun to see. Or maybe we're overthinking it and someone just badly documented it and actually it's going to work exactly the same. That's also my other theory.
Could also be. But connected to email address, yeah, that's the part that's throwing me the most, I think, out of all of it. So anyway, have a look at it. You've certainly got time to figure out if you want to use it, but just keep that in mind that there is going to be a difference in terms of how that check-in process works. So might be good to do.
I think I remembered as well. Teams live events still exist, but they are being deprecated, and Town Hall is its replacement.
Yes. Okay. So I guess we've still got that there because the feature switch isn't there, and maybe once the feature switch is on, maybe that swaps it and hides the
I
live
imagine it's
one.
going to be a swap out. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
Should we just
Yes, we can look at
Rebecca's?
Rebecca's question so I can unpin it. So Rebecca says about what having issues with personal accounts not being able to join breakout rooms whilst unverified on work school accounts can. That is a Teams thing as far as I'm aware. So this is webinars, not town halls. So with webinars, you can use the breakout rooms, and I've heard of people doing it with great success. Occasionally, I'll have a customer where one person gets stuck and they literally just have to sign out and sign back in, and they're fine. But generally, Teams with personal accounts is flaky in general. I don't think it's anything to do with Dynamics marketing per se.
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what I
would agree.
mean?
Yeah.
So that's a Teams thing, and I don't have a really good solution. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's a Teams thing. Because even if you took away the Dynamics thing and did it with Teams, you'd have the same issues. For sure.
Yep. Moving on. So this is the thing we
Sweet chat.
talked about, and then hypothesized about, and it wasn't even there, and then it got
Yes.
removed. And then, because I think we had our October release webinar, and it was in the release notes, and then maybe like the day after or two, it had gone from the release notes. So now it is back, and we can actually look at it. So this is the building of static segments up to, it says up to 200,000, but I think actually because you can multiply, you could get up to 2 million.
200,000.
So 200,000, but you can have a maximum of 10 groups for a total of 2 million
For a
possible.
total. Oh, wow. Okay, yep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff, isn't it?
Just to quickly go back, Johan, will Town Hall allow for attendees to join after the webinar starts without manually admitting them? I don't know because I've not done a Town Hall.
Yeah, that's the settings though, because you can do that for webinar. You can allow to join without admitting. That's team settings. So I'm like 90% sure that's a yes.
Oh, one of the things that you thought, and actually when we looked at
Yes.
it, that open settings, Amy's theory, which I think I will lean strongly towards being accurate, is that hopefully that pressing open settings will pop up the actual Teams
Like
page where you can
settings,
manage it. Yeah, as opposed to this
the funky
is
switches.
not all of them. So hopefully you can then open up the settings and change
Just
them.
edit directly inside Teams. So then when we get new switches, we don't have to wait for field changes and 700 releases. So hopefully that's been done.
Yeah. So yes, so the segment doing CSV files. So we can do a quick little look.
Show me, show me, show me.
This
How
is
much do you
another
love
one.
it, Megan?
Well,
do you love the experience?
I don't like a piss poor job of an experience, shall we say. So
Piss
we
poor, ouch.
Piss poor. We can see that we've got a little link there, learn how to upload CSV files. It's also in the documentation. So when I click on this, it says upload CSV, and that's great, but it also has select static list, which I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's not in the release note. So I clicked on that. But then it says save to continue, which annoyed me because it shouldn't do that, because none of the other ways, you don't have to save it before you do any of the other things. So that annoyed me to start with. And then after I'd done it, it then still didn't remember what I'd done. So then I had to go back and click on it again. So yeah, I didn't like that. So this one, I'm not too sure, and I don't want to like dig into it with my screen showing because I use this and have real people in there. So GDPR and all of that stuff, I just don't want to be picking people. So I'm not entirely sure, other than when you do select members, you then have the option to do add member, and then can get to all of your views and things like that, and pick people and put them in.
Which is very similar to the include members experience, right? But you're not limited to like 100 because that bombs out at like 100, I think.
Yeah.
So it's that, but on crack. So that's nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure what then it looks like after I've picked them. So,
Yeah, okay.
because
Ooh, the
obviously when you do
data for that would be quite cool.
the include exclude, like you just have them listed along the top, whereas
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
not sure
actually
what.
stored in a field on the segment definition, whereas this, I think, would be inside the query. Interesting. Now I'm getting excited about the
Have a
geeky
play
stuff.
around. I'm waiting for a blog
I
post to
will.
put into
There'll
my
be a blog
newsletter.
post about that
Thank
one.
you.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
On it.
So once you've done that though, then this is another thing that I'm not a fan of, is once I've done the static list, the upload CSV disappears from here and then is now here. So I just don't like the user experience because it's erratic.
If you say add manual or just plus manual select, what does that mean? I
Oh,
don't. Okay.
so then I could like do include or exclude, I
Oh
guess.
gosh, I can see this being abused horribly. Okay, I'm preparing myself for this.
Yeah.
Um,
Fiona,
so
I do not like this. It did have a bit of potential, yes, and that's the thing
I
is I'm
said
not.
it's a start, okay? It's in preview. It's gonna get better. It's okay.
And we know what we do when something's in preview, right? If we don't like it, what do? We give feedback.
Oh, I was gonna say something way more
Oh,
spicy than that, but that's a very good point. It's a very good point.
Rebecca's got a good
Um,
question. I think
I
you've.
was about to go into this, and that's a
Yeah.
great segue. So currently, what it does, it's only going to add contacts or leads, depending on your segment, based on email address
Yeah.
that exist. It's not currently creating contacts. I think there's potential for that to be done in the future, but for now, it's just finding existing and adding them. And apparently, there is a UI to say, I found all these people, but I didn't find these people, and to retry. So there is like some kind of check validation, yada yada. But also if you have duplicates in your system, like 5 contacts with the same email, all those contacts are going to be put in the segment. So if you have duplicate data, it's gonna bite you on the bum. I think currently it only matches on email address, and again, something that
Mm,
might change in the future to be a bit less rigid. But for now, it's pretty basic. So yeah, you're gonna have to go and create the contacts or leads that don't exist. Um, and it's gonna make you deal with your data issues. Well, it won't make you, but it might encourage you with a stick.
mm. I do like the whole not found, that it will basically say
Yes,
these ones haven't been found. So you could then use that, and it does say you could download that list,
and go create the
go and
contacts
go
or
and create them. But so I think, yeah,
I
I think
like
it's a
it
good step. I think it's a good step. And like you said, it is preview, and I'm sure we will all give feedback,
Mhm,
and then they'll improve it.
for sure. So yeah, it's good. Good to see it. It scares me a little bit, but so does life.
Well, they are sorted out in the journey, yes. So as long as you've got the
Hey,
duplicate
come on.
stuff.
What's the question, Megan? Talk to
Oh,
me.
sorry, Ferdinand. Then the duplicates are sorted out in a journey. Is a send out restricted to send only once to an email address, doesn't it? First of all, you've got to have a
Mhm.
feature switch turned on for that.
Yes.
Um, and I don't like looking at let's say you've got like 5 duplicates for quite a lot of those records. You could be looking saying, oh, we're going to send this email out to 25,000 people. But maybe once you actually filter out all those duplicates, maybe there's only 21,000 or something.
Mm.
So I just find it a bit of a poor like substitute for being able to say,
Yeah.
this is how many people we've got in the segment, therefore we expect most of them to actually start going
Yeah.
through it. So yes, the
The
journey would take
analytics
care
is
of it.
skewed as well.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I wish that we could filter out duplicates at the segment level before.
Yes.
And then also, Amey, I think we talked about this on the last one, right? Where you'd uh, not so happily uncovered that if you do an A/B test, then that
Yes.
whole checking duplicates goes out the window, and actually duplicates you will end up and they will get
Uh-huh.
A and B.
I just had a really good string of thought that I thought we could use that feature to remove duplicates, but you can't. But also, email address is not always unique for every customer because it may be legit that you don't have the email dedupe on because you do have some duplicates, but you also have legitimate same email address, different contact scenarios.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, we
but
can't have
yeah,
everything, can we?
suppressing duplicates from segments, deduping a segment would be flippin' awesome.
It would, but I doubt it. If we can't even stop a segment that's using a live journey to edit it, then we're not going to have that. Right, so this next one I thought was exactly the same as the October, which it is
Yes.
here, which is the maximize event ROI with paid registration, seamless payment integration. And you pointed out because
Eagle
your
eye, Amy
eyes are
Holden.
better than mine.
They were till 12 hours ago. Yep.
Yeah. So now this is actually about event passes as well as payment gateway.
So obviously they're still working on it. It's in preview, so obviously it's a nice big moving feast. And they've got some documentation up and about. Looks like passes are still sticking around, which is the old stuff, and it looks like they're maybe reusing the existing tables. But yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of like back and forth with this. I think this was the main thing that I remember holding people back from getting off outbound, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
I
is
think
anyone
anyone that
on
wanted, yeah, go on,
no,
sorry.
I'm just curious if anyone on the call is was waiting for this and A or B and C. Have you done anything with it or are you planning on doing anything with this new feature? Because I don't have anyone that's even shouting remotely about this.
Yeah. I had a couple of customers who are like membership based customers. So they have ticketed events and it's cheaper prices for members. And I know they were sticking to something else, but then I think a lot of those customers, from what I've seen, have gone to their own website and completely gone, stuff this event. I'm
Yeah.
not hanging around waiting for a preview feature. I'm going to go build something else somewhere else. Um, because of the pressure of getting out of outbound. So I think once that's in GA, I think outbound will be properly dead by then, surely.
Mm.
Dun dun dun.
It's interesting because every now and then I still see an environment that still has outbound in the menu. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, how have you still got that there?
Oh
Because the
yeah, I have
option,
customers that are too scared to press the button.
no, but the hide unhide is no longer there. Like I thought that was it. It was like, or maybe if you had already hidden it once we got to a certain date, then it was like, okay, let's not give them
Yes.
the option. Is that what
Yes,
happened?
yes, yes. You can't, your unhide is gone, but the hide is still there.
So if you still have it and you never brave enough to hide in the first place.
Yes, then you can keep it. But they are stopping, like you can't create new stuff, but you can go in and poke around and
Mm.
cry about it and just say you miss it every now and then and just pop in and say hi and see how it's doing, you know.
I couldn't even tell you how to use outbound now. I've not used it for so long. So Mandy, on the settings, Mandy says, how do you hide outbound? So in the settings, what used to happen, and I don't have it, obviously it is still there, that I'm learning. So what used to happen was before when they first started saying, hey, we're moving away from it, this right here said something like hide or hide outbound or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you pressed it, and basically what it did is it updated something, added some, fired off some script, and basically it removes outbound from the menu right at the bottom. But
Yeah.
there was always the option to say unhide, which I always feel is weird.
Yes.
It should just be show, right? Isn't that the opposite of hide?
Oh, there we
Show.
go.
Anyway,
Ferdinand's put
thank
a
you.
screenshot.
So you could always bring it
Oh,
back.
look at all these screenshots. It's like
Thank
we're
you.
still holding on.
But I just assumed because in mine and most of my client, actually all of my clients, we hid it at the when we were supposed to, when I was.
Supposed to just
But I got them off it. I
recommended.
got them off it, and I was like,
All
let's just
right,
hide it, guys.
perfect.
But I thought it was the same for everybody. I just assumed that was it. So when I saw it the other day, I was like, what? So now I know. I've learned
Now you
something.
know.
Mandy, you don't have the option to hide, but is it
Might be
only
your
hidden?
login permissions as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
if you're not an admin, because it's customization, I think. So it might be your permissions.
Yeah, could be. But anyway, that was what you could do. You could hide it, but obviously, for those of you now that haven't hidden it, just know that once you've hidden it, now at this
There's
point,
no going
there's
back.
no show option again, and it used to be there, but it's not anymore. So that is the release stuff for November. For December, it's going to be a little bit later, so we'll do a session in December, but it'll be like
Yeah.
Q&A. So please bring more questions to those. Otherwise, it'll just be Amey and I like
But
chatting
you've got to
about
hear us chat about absolute
pets.
garbage.
But we will do one in December for Q&A, and then we'll do one in January that will cover the December release, because it should by that point have rolled out to everybody. And I think we're okay saying there isn't a January release, but there would then be one in February.
Correct.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting.
We just moved over to real time, says Mandy, and having issues with bullets. What? Not enough loaded? Or I'm guessing bullet points in emails? Maybe?
Yes.
Managed ordered list, unordered list? Yes.
I fix this for quite a lot of people. There's like a little teeny tiny bit of CSS in the brand profiles, but there's not enough. So I've ended up actually building out a little bit of custom CSS to style the bullet points nicely, consistently in all the emails with nice indents. I can try and grab that if we have another question. I can grab a little CSS snippet and drop it into the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I literally just did the same thing again and had to do the same thing as you and had to add in specific CSS for your bullet points. So you've got your ordered list or your unordered list. So the CSS might be slightly different. So ordered would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Bullet is your unordered list. So yes, they are a pain, and I feel like they should be one of the things in the theme.
They should be a standard thing for sure.
But they are not. Are you looking for that, or should I?
I'm on my way. I
am
on my way.
So I will carry on. So hopefully we can remove that nightmare for people about the bullet points. Do you have any information regarding, this is from Nina, information regarding the new event API? Is there a date when the old API gets turned off, and will custom fields come back to the new API?
I don't know anything about this. I think you're a long way. I guess as soon as outbound marketing is officially RIP is when the old API would go away. So it depends on when your extension runs to. Because anyone that's got it now should have an extension, right?
Yeah, I think so. Do you have an extension, Nina? Is that how you've still got access to it? Or maybe you don't know, I don't know.
But I don't know where they're at with that. I think the real-time one is still in preview, right?
She says no extension, but the old API still works.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be careful. I think you're playing with fire with that one.
Yes. If you're running your business based on its carrying on, then be careful.
Yeah. I would say not long after the new one goes GA. So I would be trying to escape promptly. It's probably my best summary on that one.
Yeah. Tej said, speaking of emails, does anyone else have issues with Control Z or Z for you guys in the States being totally unpredictable for undoing changes? Yes, it is annoying. I have that.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think it's just you. I don't think it's the way you're pressing the buttons on your keyboard. I think it is unpredictable.
You need a new keyboard. That's the problem. You need a new keyboard. That's all.
Yeah. I just can't see if you pasted anything, but I've just found an example.
I was just on my way. I was just double checking it was right, but I think that's about right. I decided a bunch of inherits to say, hey, respect the existing conditions. So UL and OL is unordered list and ordered list. So, and then adding some padding for the indents for when it's a nested. So I had a customer that wanted to do indented bullet
Oh
points,
yeah.
and the second layer weren't picking it up. So that's what the second one's for, is to do the indents. So there's a couple of ideas there. You can either hard
Yeah.
code it like Megan has to say, use this font, and I've just said inherit. And because it's always inside a paragraph, it just picks up what lives in the paragraph above it. But there's some ideas. Look at us spitting out CSS all over the
Yeah.
place.
Have you, Ferdinand says, have you seen that Journey Insights in journeys with multiple versions are not showing Journey Insights for all versions correctly? It only shows the records from the version you've started from. I have not noticed necessarily, but then I haven't been looking, and I never have more than one version.
Oh, look at you, Mrs.
Absolute
Perfect.
lies.
So perfect.
I had to fix the journey from this event just this very morning. Apologies for those of you that saw that you'd missed this session due to time zone errors. But yeah, I've not necessarily looked. So in other words, if there have been version changes, I haven't then gone and looked to know that they were incorrect.
I'm struggling to understand the how. Because surely if you're looking at a journey insights, you want the journey you're looking at, not the versions, because they're kind of different.
No, I think he's saying like the insights for all. So in other words, you've got 500 people, but maybe 300 are going through version 1, 100 are version 2, 100 are version 3. If you want to look at the insights overall, you're saying that you wouldn't do that? You would look at 3 different, and I would want to look at 1, right?
I think that I get that it makes sense, but I would say that to the people who build these things, they're separate records, and if you want that, you'd have to go use those dashboards.
But then what's the point in being able to flip to see all in that case, right?
That's a good question. Can you? Maybe I've not looked there for a while. Can I have a look? Do you have one?
Now,
Can you show us?
I'm just looking right now.
Maybe it's just me that's not. It's just a fraud.
Yeah, because if you're on your email, right, you can change the. I'm just seeing if I can open one. Okay. Oh, I can't because it's got real people on. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
But I can quickly look.
In the meantime, Alexandra asked a question about the bullet points from event descriptions when using the forms and putting the description into the form dynamically. This is a nightmare. This is horrible. So you've got you're creating like a HTML CSS war. So you've got the on the event, you've got the description that's HTML enabled, and then you're embedding that inside a form which also has HTML and CSS. I have not worked out how to win on that one. Absolutely no idea. So I've always used that changing the description to plain text. And if the plain text description isn't sexy enough, then go and edit the form directly. I know it's annoying, but technically I understand why it doesn't work. You can also, I think, if you want to use plain text and do HTML inside that box, it will render it. But because the HTML control on the event gets really creative and puts in loads of random CSS classes, and it all starts fighting with each other. So there's not really a solution, and it sucks.
I was gonna say you know when you've like edited stuff and you're like, was this out of the box or not? But hang on. So there. So
yes,
I would typically do my editing in here on the actual description itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then when you put it on the form, it goes wonky. Especially if you use like bullet points and centering, then it gets in a fight with the form. So yours looks okay. Interesting.
Mm.
If you use, I think, bullet points or centering, it goes wild.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah, I've not
Because the
most.
form is arguing with the HTML, if that makes
I was gonna
sense.
say mostly I don't have. Yeah, I don't have bullet points on it.
Yeah, and have you stripped out all the styling from your form as well? So it looks
Uh,
nice on your website.
so this entire thing is basically the form. So everything apart from
Okay.
this, everything in it is on the form itself.
Hmm. So you just need to
So,
hire Megan V. Walker, I think. I think that's the answer
but
to your
I've done
question.
so much custom CSS in the form, and
Yes.
yeah, and only like I use the same form every single time, and I did fiddle around with it when I first embedded it to add extra styles into it to counteract against the CSS on my website. So yeah, it is a pain, and I guess I've just dealt with it and lived with it and then just fixed it in the form.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's your other option is put it onto your site. And then if that's the thing is I say, oh, just fiddle around and you would just fiddle around.
Yes.
But it's, are you comfortable and like to right click, inspect, and then have a look and say, okay, well, what style is that using? And then know how to adjust it. So I don't say it lightly. I say it with, if you can get comfortable with it, it's a really good skill to have because then you're like, I don't care what it looks like when I first put it on because I know I can make it look better. It would be nice if it looked great immediately, but yeah, it doesn't, does it? Bit crappy.
It
Oh,
is a
I love
challenge.
the start of Mark's
I know, I got excited
comment.
too.
Super nerdy question.
Um,
Okay, that's setting up the expectations.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I don't understand the context though. So I can't work out where you're using the thing. Is this in an email?
Yeah, are you embedding it into an email or is it something? Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? Because those div
It's got
controls
curly brackets,
are
or
for
it's on a
email.
form, an event form. So, on a form for an event.
Okay,
Okay. Um,
but
did
it's
you
pulling in
set the,
dynamically.
yeah, because it's got the
Yeah,
event image
yeah.
URL. So I'm assuming you've mapped the event image. What's the random if
Oh,
tag?
yeah. Is that maybe that's just a copy because we don't see the start of the if, do we?
Yes.
The only thing I can think is we obviously can't see what your mapping is for that event image URL. Is
Oh,
where are you
yes.
going through? And if you're using the new field, then that should be fine because it actually just pulls the
Mm-hmm.
URL itself. If you're using a custom field and you've added like a file, you have to pull in the blob CDN URL. So you'd be going
Yes.
through to the
You have to go in.
event file of event image and then pick that one. So I guess it
Yeah, you might just
depends.
need to check the mapping. So if you click, you've got to click on the area where the event stuff is, and then a little box appears on the right-hand side. Oh, so the old template is using the old version. So the template, I think Mark is using the C blob CDN,
Ah,
but
okay.
the new template is using yes. I think you need to check the mapping of your event image URL because you're probably using the blob CDN and not the new URL. That's my theory.
Oh, that looked weird. Yeah, take a look at
Hey,
that
look,
thing.
Megan wrote a blog. She's got a blog for that. Nice work.
Cool.
So I think that might be why, maybe. And yeah, when you click on that event area on the form in edit mode, it then pops up one of the things in the sidebar that allows you to check the placeholders. So it might not be mapped right or might not be mapped at all because that one breaks a lot for me. Like it just goes red for no reason. So that might be why as well.
Yeah.
Ah, look at
Um.
that. You got a fun meme for being awesome. I like it.
Uh. Varun. Is there any way to
Huh.
identify whether an email open or link click was performed by a human recipient or an automated bot?
I mean, this is an industry-wide issue, right?
I don't think there's a way for us to know which it was from visually. I think Microsoft can maybe have an idea, like if you're seeing it consistently and think that there's issues consistently, I think they can maybe look in like logs or other ways to track stuff. We can't see it within the application which it was. I think if there's like 10 clicks immediately within a minute, it's probably a bot. But yeah, I don't think we have a way to know it.
I think it's an industry-wide problem as well, because it might not even be a bot. Like I know, for example, if you have like Mimecast, it actually goes through the email before it lets it hit your inbox and checks all the links aren't dodgy, which can count as clicks. And it's actually your security scanning. So is that a bot? I don't know, because I didn't click on it. So generally clicks and views are never 100% reliable, and you're never going to really fix that.
Yeah. Sorry. Whenever people say, "Oh, I want to then move somebody onto the next stage because they opened an email,"
I'm like, don't do it.
No, not a good indicator, I don't think. Also, the other thing of it not being a good indicator is I have the reading pane open in Outlook, and so if I'm paging up, I haven't necessarily like opened it. It thinks I've opened it because I've gone through on the reading pane, but maybe it just went down through to that one, so therefore, but I haven't looked at it. Not interested. Question on compliance profiles. If time, okay, once topics have been created on a purpose, how easy to change? Well, you can't delete a purpose or a topic. No, I know. Okay, for the purpose of this, from the front of the system, you can't delete. You can, there are ways to do it. It is, even though there are ways to do it, you can still be blocked at every possible turn because somebody's linked it to a template or a content block, or it's a pain. Renaming is absolutely fine, so you could change by renaming, but deletion is horrible. So yeah.
I would say for this, if I like the scenario is, for example, you've got two topics and you want to merge them into one. From an audit traceability point of view, I would be creating a new topic and then loading the consent from the old topics into the new one. And I would actually be saying, like, for the source, saying it's loaded and adding a note saying was previously opted into blah. Because then you've got a really clean audit trail. Yes, you've still got those two old topics, but you can remove them from the form. And I think you can deactivate them so they come away from the views and stuff. But if you're keen on GDPR auditing, that's what I would do, is that I wouldn't change the existing. I would actually move to a new one and trail where I came from.
Yep.
And then I want to go in and delete it eventually, but technically you're not meant to or supposed to.
We're coming up to time. If you've got questions, well, I'm saying that if you've got questions, we can go a bit over. It's like past 2 a.m. for Amy in Australia, so maybe
as long as my eyes are open, it's okay. Like, I'm good.
So I don't know if we answered, did we? Because Mark's put some more stuff in there, but I think hopefully that answers.
I think that was in response to what we were talking about, so I think we're good. And there was one quick question from, about the ULLI. Yeah, that's all the same one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So question from Rebecca. Do you want me to read it? So how good would you say that Microsoft anti-bot protection works currently? Are link clicks more reliable than opens?
The thing is, what's challenging is one of the purposes of like Amy said, like something like Mimecast or Barracuda or something that an organization is using, is they are basically passing through any emails that come into the organization, and they are opening and they are checking all of the links to make sure that there's no malicious intent that somebody clicking on it could download a virus or whatever. So the clicks for things like I said, those two things specifically, Microsoft knows how to check for those things. So those should not be showing up in your system, because they should be like filtered out. The problem is that spammers and people that are trying to create these things and the bots are obviously not going, oh, let me just let Microsoft know that we're going to put together this new bot. So they're always chasing and having
Yes.
to update the rules and the logic. Like I said, Barracuda, Mimecast, things are legitimate checking tools for organizations to check email. Those will be factored in and the data would be filtered out. It's the bot, as in spam bot, is the hard thing, because they're always chasing, aren't they? They're always chasing new technology as well.
Yeah,
but
it's
people are
Wild
getting
West,
cleverer.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, everyone says she's still getting a lots of opens and clicks. So again, I'd say if you're getting a lot of opens and clicks in that first period, that's probably a lot of like the mimecasts and the yada yadas. You can raise a support ticket because I think at this stage, like they're open to feedback on this and they might be able to find something that's not right. I did have, for example, like back in the day, a customer that sent every time they sent an email out, their website went down because all the emails were hitting inboxes and the links were getting clicked to be checked. So it's worth raising a ticket, but yeah, opens and clicks are Wild West.
Yeah, I think clicks are slightly more reliable,
A little bit
but
better.
a little bit better than opens, because again, not all tools will click all the links. They will maybe be going through, so they might seem like they've been opened. But yeah, like Amy said, in terms of for you, Varun, like I would be contacting Microsoft if you're still seeing that, at least so that then they can maybe like review it a little bit more. Maybe they'll find out more information and add more filtering to whatever rules they use. So yeah, I think to me, that's part of like, if we just ignore it and don't report it, they can't improve it if they're not sure. So okay, so next one we've already got scheduled, right, for December.
There's something.
December the 17th. And what we're going to do for January, because again, this is like 2 a.m. past, what time is it now? 2 a.m.? Nearly 3.
It's 10 to 3 in the morning.
10 to 3 for Amy in the morning. So we've always kind of like struggled with time zones to try and accommodate as many as possible. And so we finally stepped back and we're like, let's see what ChatGPT thinks. So for January, we're going to start it in the new year. We will have one the day before UK time. So it'll be like 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, and then the next one will be 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. So hopefully should accommodate and also make it a little bit kinder to poor Amy, so that she's not still up at nearly 3 o'clock in the morning.
You don't have to look at my little closed up eyes. It's better for everyone, right?
Oh, I can go to sleep now. But yeah, so December's ready to go. January will be ready to register before the end of the year, so that you can do that before you go away for the holidays if you are. But yeah, we will catch up in December.
Bring your questions for December, please. Or I'm going to have to talk about rubbish things.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.